Hey guys, welcome to New Zealand's biggest gap year. It's a challenge that took Laura and I an entire year a couple of years ago. We had to tackle 365 activities all around New Zealand in only 365 days. And this is day 79. We are taking the ferry from Wellington all the way to Picton. So we're leaving the North Island and we're heading to the South Island. Join us at the end of the video when we're going to be replying to all the questions you had the first time we published the video. See you then. So this is it. This morning we are leaving very early, Trek Global Backpackers, and we are heading toward the Interislander Ferry terminal. This is our gateway to the South Island. We are stoked. And just a quick tip for you guys, if you take the very early morning ferry, it's actually much cheaper than taking it during the day. So as we are on a budget, this is the option that we are choosing for ourselves.
So we were a bit nervous about manoeuvring our giant camper van onto the ferry, but it actually proved to be pretty easy. We're clearly directed by the workers on the ferry, and we pack up, no problem, and start exploring the Interislander Ferry.
We are making our way around the massive stairs network of the Interislander Ferry to try to find a nice vantage point for us to basically say goodbye to Wellington.
It has been about 76 days in the making. We've done half the North Island. We're finally hitting the South Island. This is about to get epic.
There are multiple viewing decks for the Interislander Ferry, so we pick a good spot at the back to watch Wellington turn smaller into the distance. We can see all sorts of the Wellington region. There's mountains, there's a lighthouse in the distance, we can even see some wind turbines, and it's just an absolutely stunning day to be doing the ferry crossing.
As we wave goodbye to the North Island, Laura and I reminisce on the amazing amount of activities that we already got to do on the North Island. It's quite crazy to think that we've done that much and explored only half of the North Island. But to our surprise, we are greeted by some of the staff which tell us they have a surprise for us.
Because the crew at Interislander noticed all our cameras and it's a bit of a slow morning, we've been invited to go up to the bridge, which is where the captain pilots the boat or drives the boat. So we enter the bridge, which looks like something out of Star Trek with all these control panels, and we get a pretty unique view of the Interislander Ferry. As we enter the tricky navigation of the Marlborough Sounds, this is when we get outside to get a better look at this beautiful section of the South Island. There's mountains that look like they're just emerging from the sea, absolutely covered in forest, and this has to be one of the highlights of this ferry crossing between Wellington and Picton.
The Marlborough Sounds is world famous for being one of the most peaceful places on earth. As the ferry glides through the sound, it looks like nothing has moved for centuries and the land is absolutely undisturbed. Usually you can see a lot of dolphin pods and also orcas, but on this very cruise we actually saw none of those, aside from just a few birds, one lonely dolphin that we didn't get to film. And as we enter the more inner part of the sound, we get to go on top of the ferry, and that's something that I just asked the captain when we were in the bridge. Can I please go all the way on top to get the best view? And he said, yeah, alright, you can go up there. So Laura and I get to spend the entrance of Picton right on top of the ferry, and that's absolutely amazing.
We have amazing views from all around, but especially from the top of the ferry where there's all these equipment that I'm sure we shouldn't really be playing around with. But it's an awesome place to get a view of Picton as we arrive officially into the South Island. This is the gateway to the South Island, and the weather here is absolutely beautiful, which Marlborough, the region we're approaching, is famous for. It is the sunniest place in New Zealand.
This is it. We are setting foot on the South Island for the first time in this trip, and the little fisherman's village of Picton has a lot to offer. We are not going to be leaving Picton quickly. We are going to be spending time here showing you all that it has to offer. And first, Laura and I sit down on the front of the harbor and are watching the seal colony until dusk.
We are heading to the epic South Island. And to tell you how epic that is, the first city we are going to be landing in is Picton. Alright guys, so I know like taking the ferry, maybe just transportation, not necessarily an activity. It's a bit of a debate, but I think we can consider that as an activity. We had a lot to look at, it was really scenic. I think it was, I'll put it as an activity. Alright, let's go a bit over the comment that you guys had. So Ravikant was asking for the crossover time, and the sail time, the total sail time is about 3.5 hours between Wellington and Picton. So it's about the same times on the way back because it's the same route. But yeah, so it's about 3.5 hours total, but you have to be there quite early in order to, like, you know, check in and get in and everything. But the actual sail time is about 3.5 hours. Anna Witter was telling us that we were pretty lucky not to have 8 meters swells, saying that yes, it happened, and it did happen to her. So yeah, obviously we're pretty lucky that we had kind of a really amazing trip. Like, I mean, you saw that, it was pretty amazing. Maria Cornwallis tells us that General Picton was Wellington's second in command at the Battle of Waterloo. I'm not 100% sure if that's true, but if it is, it's a pretty awesome fact to know, so here you go. If you guys know if that's true or not, maybe you want to put a comment below and tell us. Taron is asking us about the price for the ferry for one car and then one person. So the lowest one you can get it at will be about $65. You know, sometimes it gets a bit more. I mean, there is some comparison, and actually one of the ways to actually check all the different prices and everything is to head to nzpocketguide.com. We do have a full article about the ferry crossing where we compare all the different categories, even the categories of vehicle and everything, to help you and have all the information, and those informations are up to date. So that can be the best thing to do. So it's nzpocketguide.com. It's the largest travel guide to New Zealand. There's a link in the description below. It's written by Laura and I, and yeah, it's all free to use, so here you go. Jason is saying, really looking forward to this next trip. He's going to also do the train to Christchurch. This will be an 18 days trip in New Zealand. And he also asked, how do I wrangle an invitation to the bridge? I have to say the invitation to the bridge is kind of a hard one. We were really lucky just because we are running NZ Pocket Guide and everything, so it's not something that everybody gets to see. But I'm really happy that we got to show it to you guys. You know, like we sometimes get to go even a little bit more beyond what you usually get to see. So we like to show you what the entire activity actually is, but sometimes we can even show you a little extra, which is kind of cool. So that's what we did in this occasion. So please don't think that you'll be able to get up the bridge at all, because that's just, that just wouldn't happen. Alright, so if you are like Jason and planning your trip to New Zealand and using those videos to do so, well, you are in the perfect place. You can check out nzpocketguide.com, that's our website. And it's all free to use, but even better, you can hang out with us. We sit on that couch over there with those nice little smoothies, and we are chatting about traveling in New Zealand every single Sunday at 8 AM New Zealand time. So if you don't know what time that is in your side of the world, there is a link in the description below, and you can come in, and in the live chat you can type any of your travel questions and we will answer them for you. We spend a whole hour, you can pick our brains, and we can plan together your best trip to New Zealand. It's a lot of fun. YouTube tells me that I have to tell you to subscribe, so if you want to do that you can. And if you do find this video useful, or if you think that I speak too fast, hit like. And yeah, that's a great way to say thank you for all our hard work. I just realized I was talking a little too fast today, so I apologize. I'm going to take a deep breath, and I promise next video I'm going to speak way slower. In the meantime, travel awesome, have a wonderful day, bye bye.